104.5, the team, your home for New York Yankees baseball. The big trade, maybe the biggest trade of the weekend. Andrew Miller is now a member of the Cleveland Indians. The Yankees bring back prospects. So we have reached out to Justin Lada. He is the man who has the know. He works for the Lake County Sentinel and Burning River Baseball. So, Justin, let's start with Clint Frazier. What type of ball player did the Yankees just pick up?
He's an exciting player. Definitely, obviously, the key piece to the deal. Guy who plays hard every play out there. Obviously, if you haven't seen pictures, he has great hair. I think the hair stands out more than the tools. So hopefully the Yankees let him keep that great red hair. But yeah, he's a hard-nosed player. Kind of that linebacker, strong safety mentality, I guess you can put it. Kind of reminds me actually of a right-handed Grady Sizemore in some ways. Like I said, he plays hard every single play. He's got a lot of power. He's got ridiculous bat speed. He's going to hit enough where that power is going to play in the game. He can play a good right field. He's played a lot of center field over the last couple of years, split time with the Indians' other prospect, Bradley Zimmer. So potentially he could stay in center field. More likely right field, has the arm for right field, absolutely. Definitely a guy with 20 home runs, more possibility, maybe 10, 15, even 20 stolen bases if he's in the right lineup and with the right manager. And he's aggressive. He goes, like I said, he goes out there and he plays hard every play. He's going to make things happen at bat, in the field, and on the bases.
Justin, the name I've heard him compared to, which is a big name, is Mike Trout. Is that crazy?
Absolutely crazy. I don't think you can compare anyone to Mike Trout. I mean, the only way you can compare to Mike Trout are Mickey Mantle or Ted Williams, and that's really unfair to anybody. I don't think there's anybody. Mike Trout's the only comparison for Mike Trout. Physically, I think there's a lot of similarities. Clint Frazier, the first thing you're going to notice, his forearms are jacked. I mean, that's the biggest set of forearms I've ever seen. When I shook his hand, he's crushing my hand when I shake his hand. He's huge. So physically, you can say they're comparable, but I think tools-wise and what they can do, I think it's unfair to compare anybody to that.
Justin, let's talk about Justice Sheffield, Gary Sheffield's nephew. Joining as a Yankee, what can that guy bring?
Well, first of all, he is not Gary Sheffield's nephew. That's been a
really?
well-circulated rumor since he's been drafted. I'm not sure. Obviously, it's made the rounds. But, yeah, he is. He did have an uncle in minor league baseball named Tom Sheffield, but no, he is not directly related to Gary.
Little difference.
Yeah, just a little bit there. So he does have minor league baseball bloodlines, which is never a bad thing. But he's a good pitcher. He's 5'10". I think there's a lot of people out there who are concerned about guys his size being able to start and being able to get enough, downhill play on that fastball. But he does a good job of that. He throws around the mid-90s, 93, 95. Not a bad breaking ball. The changeup's coming around a little bit. At the worst, he's going to be a pretty good reliever in the bullpen. That's at the worst. I think he's a guy you can definitely use as a setup guy, not just left-handed specific. I think he's got enough tools where if he wasn't in the bullpen, he'd be good for an inning. But I think if it all pans out, he is maybe your third best starter in the rotation, a guy who's going to throw 170, 180 innings and put up a solid ERA. He's not a frontline starter, but definitely a guy you need in the rotation. Like I said, he throws hard enough. If the changeup keeps coming along, good things are only going to happen for him.
Justin Lada covers the Indians for the Lake County Sentinel and Burning River Baseball. So, Justin, it sounds like you view Clint Frazier as a pretty sure bet to be a big leaguer for the Yankees. When it comes to Justice Sheffield, is there a chance that he's here as a trade piece, or do you also see him as somebody the Yankees are going to need in the future?
I would imagine keeping Sheffield around because I don't know the Yankees system that well, but I mean I know Tanaka's around, for however long he's around. I mean, how they feel about Michael Pineda and Nate Eovaldi will depend on the next couple hours or who the next wave is. But outside of Luis Severino, I don't really know if they have any other pitching prospects in that rotation that they can look at in the minor league system and say, this is a guy we can have in the rotation for years to come. So I think it makes sense to keep Sheffield around because he's definitely a guy who you have a shot to put in the rotation for 5 or 6 years. So unless they have other guys in the system that are better than that, he's definitely worth keeping.
So, Justin, the names that we're not hearing, of course, Clint Frazier, Justice Sheffield are getting all the pub. What about the other guys that the Yankees were able to bring over in the Andrew Miller trade?
Yeah,
those other two pieces are really good for them. It's a really good return overall. And, they obviously traded Chapman, obviously traded Miller, but they're restocking their bullpen. Ben Heller already touches 100 at the fastball, isn't constantly in the upper 90s. has a really good slider. He's going to be a really good setup man for Dellin Betances, or if they ever move on from that, he can be a closer too. So they've restocked their bullpen with Ben Heller. I think they should call up Ben Heller tomorrow if they're, I know they got Tyler Clippard, but Ben Heller can help anybody in the bullpen right now. And JP Fireisen actually started his career as a minor leaguer out with 31 scoreless innings. So the guy's got a lot of talent, really good fastball, really good curveball. Probably not the level of Ben Heller, but a guy that you could definitely throw out in the 6th or 7th inning and expect to get quality outs from. So they got a really good return in this package overall.
So the Yankees won the trade.
Just ask me in November.
I just need Justin. Give me something. You guys are winning this season. Let me win the trade.
Okay, the Indians won it in 2016 and maybe 2017 when the Yankees played the Braves in 2019 in the World Series. With Clint Frazier headlining the outfield, I'll say the Yankees won the trade that year.
I like it.
Let's talk about the recent rejection of the Cleveland Indians by Jonathan Lucroy. What was the story with that, Justin?
Everything's ranged from, not being guaranteed playing time next year or wanting some kind of financial sweetener to waive his no-trade clause. And there was also reports about how he wanted his club option for next year, which I believe was like $5.25 million, a club option. The reports he wanted that ripped up, so essentially he wanted to be a free agent at the end of the year. So there was a lot of weird things going around. And I don't know, frankly, what to believe, but to say the Indians weren't going to guarantee him playing time next year would have been absolutely crazy. For the prospects they were giving up and the kind of player Lucroy is, to allege he wasn't going to play enough next year is absolutely insane.
Justin, what is the reaction in Cleveland right now? The Indians get a closer, and Andrew Miller, yeah, sure, Lucroy says no, but I mean, he wasn't exactly needed to make a run. You needed the closer. Is everybody getting ready for a second parade?
I hope so. I mean, the overwhelming majority definitely says they're excited about Andrew Miller. It shows you how far I think we've come, how we view baseball is people are excited about a reliever. How often can you say that trading for a reliever is the most exciting thing you can do? But when you look at the kind of stats Andrew Miller's put up for the last couple of years, especially this year, people are definitely excited because you saw what the Royals did last year, their blueprint where, they didn't have a great rotation, but they had a good enough rotation where they could hand the ball to the bullpen in the 6th inning, and the game was over because it was so good. And now you bring a guy like Andrew Miller to the Indians bullpen, who the Indians have the best starting rotation in baseball, at least the American League, and then you can hand the ball to guys like Miller and Cody Allen. I mean, you can go 7 innings and say the game's pretty much over, and I think that's what I was excited about.
What about the celebration for the Cavs? Has that ended yet in Cleveland, Justin? Is it still going on?
Are there still shirtless NBA players in the streets?
No, J.R. Smith, I guess, is wearing a shirt. That's not a Cavs shirt at the moment. I don't know what shirt he's wearing, but he has been reported wearing a shirt. Someone did find it for him. Everyone still hasn't come down from that hype for sure. People still talk about it all the time, and they want to claim that this was infused by the Cavs, this Indians winning streak, and being in first place and making this kind of move. But it's definitely carried over. It's contagious. They've seen one, and they want another, and they're excited that they got another team who has a legitimate chance to do it, that's for sure. No one's stopped talking about either of them.
Justin Lada, he covers the Indians and clearly has the pulse of Cleveland for the Lake County Sentinel and Burning River Baseball right here on 104.5 The Team. Justin, the last thing I got to know is, so you got a guy like Terry Francona as your manager. He's part of the team that ends the curse of the Bambino. If he brings a World Series to Cleveland as well, do they just walk him right out of the stadium and into the Hall of Fame?
I think they walk him out and they fit him for a statue in Cleveland, number one. I think he's already a Hall of Famer. It definitely cements his status as a Hall of Fame manager. But I think if he wins the World Series, I think there'll be a statue within the next couple of years outside of Progressive Field for sure.
Justin Lada, he covers the Indians for the Lake County Sentinel, Burning River Baseball, and he just hooked us up with the knowledge that Clint Frazier and Justice Sheffield look like pieces that can help the Yankees move forward. Justin, we appreciate you, and good luck to your Indians since our Yankees look like they're out of it.
Thanks.